Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday to you. Thank you for joining me for yet another edition of 5 Minutes with Phil. And I really appreciate you joining us here today. Hey, again, if we could bless somebody that you know with one of these 5-minute sessions, share the link with them if you would. And just help somebody out if they could benefit maybe from a little word that we might have here in one of these things. We just want to help people and bless people. So you can be a part of that. So go ahead and pass along if you want to and if you can. Now, today, for our 5 minutes, I got us looking at the book of Romans today. Romans chapter 12. And Romans at different spots, especially this chapter, chapter 12, it deals a lot with our relationships with other people and our relationships with one another. And I want to talk about some of those relationships, those interactions that we have with other people. I'd like to take a look at those today. So look at the screen with me as we look at Romans chapter 12, beginning in verse 14, and we're going to go to verse 16. Now here's what Paul says to this whole bunch of Jesus followers. He says, "Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be proud, but be willing to associate with people of low position. Do not be conceited." All right, there's a lot to unpack here. I probably could have actually made this like a 3-part series for 5 minutes, but I'm going to try to cram all this in one here. And we're given a lot of guidelines as we interact with other people in life, throughout your day today, throughout the week. What should we keep in mind? First of all, we should bless those who persecute us. And what's he saying? We need to get rid of the desire to get revenge on somebody. If somebody mistreats us, right away in the flesh, right away in our minds, we think, well, I need to get them back, or I need to try to make them as miserable as they have made me. And that is an easy that's an easy default response for all of us. But here, Paul is saying, no, if somebody persecutes you, if somebody hurts you, then you need to bless them. It's just the opposite of revenge. That's the Christ-like way of doing that. But Paul doesn't stop there. In the next section of what we just read, he tells us that we need to rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. In other words, if somebody is blessed and they're happy about it and they're rejoicing about that, we should not feel jealous. We should not feel like, that's not fair. And I hear that sometimes from Christian people. And on the flip side, if somebody is hurting, we shouldn't say, well, they had it coming, or glad I'm not like that guy. I think that's the wrong attitude as well. If somebody that we know, one of our Christian brothers or sisters, if they are rejoicing, we should rejoice with them. We should celebrate with them. And if they're hurting, if they're mourning, that should grip our hearts too. We should mourn with them as well, identifying with them and being sympathetic to one another. And then finally, Paul tells us that we should be willing to associate with people who might be considered lower than we are. That we should not be proud, we should not be conceited. I tell you what, there's something that I'm reminded of always, is that I never want to forget where I came from. I never want to forget how things used to be for me. And maybe I'm in a better place than somebody else. Maybe I'm in a better economic situation than somebody else, financial situation, emotional. But those people should not be lower than me. I should not think that I'm higher than them. I should be able to put my arm around a poor person who is hurting this with the same strength and energy that I have of putting my arm around a rich person who seems to have it all together. And so today, I just want to challenge you to evaluate all your relationships, your friendships, your interactions with people, and let's go about these relationships in a way that honors Jesus. Okay? All right. I'm done for the day. God bless you. Thanks for joining me. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.